What's up, a Cinema Shogun here, and ladies and gentlemen, we have come a long way when it comes to this Britney Spears story. When I first started covering this story, we got so much pushback. We got labeled as conspiracy theorists and bad people for simply suggesting that there may still be something wrong with Britney Spears, that maybe Britney isn't really free. People attacked us day in and day out. But now we've reached a point where there's literally Britney Spears protest erupting in the street again. I kid you not, today there was a Justice for Britney protest outside of TriStar Entertainment. Now, isn't it funny how a couple of months ago, everyone was trying to tell us Britney was okay and that we were crazy. And now these people are flipping the script and they're out here protesting, claiming that Britney Spears isn't free again. Now, how many of you all have been here with me since day one? Where are my day one A1s? From the beginning, when I made my first Britney video. Or let's even take it further. When I first started covering the topic, like the first couple of months even. Maybe even longer. Because damn, we've been covering the story we're closing in on a year almost. Give or take a couple of months. But in the beginning, my initial point was that there is just something wrong here. And that's still my point. I don't know exactly what is wrong, but there's obviously something wrong here. Either Britney isn't free and she's under control, or Britney's just a little loopy. Now, both are possible, and I honestly believe that both are kind of happening. But early on, when I started covering this story, we explored so many avenues. We looked into so many things that would suggest that maybe Britney wasn't free at all. But then, people went crazy about that. People acted like I was public enemy number one for suggesting that maybe the conservatorship isn't really over. Maybe it might look like it's over, but is it really over? I pointed out countless times how Britney's team was the exact same team. The only person they really got out of the way was Britney's father and her family. Meanwhile, all the other hyenas, they're still around, circling Britney like a hungry pack of wolves or a hungry pack of hyenas. I pointed that out months ago and people acted like, what are you talking about? You're such a bad guy. It got to the point where I have literally abandoned most of my inboxes on social media because of crazy Britney psychopath fans constantly harassing me 24/7. Now, I'm a big boy. I could handle it. But I cover more, I don't want to say more important, but let's just be honest, more important cases as well. I cover missing persons cases and things of that nature. Sometimes I miss out on family members of missing people messaging me simply because I don't even feel like diving into my inbox because I know I'm going to have 200 messages from psycho Britney fans who are wishing death upon me and all types of crazy stuff. So initially when I pointed out that, hey, I don't think Britney's really free, at least not my definition of free, people freaked out. The one time I ever appeared on a live stream, we all talked about Britney Spears and someone tried to lay out for me how Britney was free and where her finances were and all of that stuff. So basically since day one, I've been getting pushback. So I want to point out what is going to happen here and what is about to happen here. But before I do that, let's go ahead and just tune into some of these, tune into this Britney protest real quick to see what's going on out there.
In a leaked court testimony, Britney Spears investigate Blue Taylor. In a leaked court testimony, Britney Spears said, quote, "I worked which in California, the only similar thing to this is called sex trafficking, making anyone work against their will, taking all their possessions away, credit card, cash, phone, and passport, and placing them in a home where they work with people who live with them. Free Britney and investigate TriStar!
Investigate TriStar! Justice for Britney!
You get on the
Justice
mic.
for
Get on the mic,
Britney!
Melanie.
Tis the season to give it all back. This month is Human Trafficking Awareness Month. Give it all back to Britney.
Woo!
Justice for Britney. Justice for Britney. Abolish conservatorship. Abolish conservatorship. Justice for Britney. Abolish conservatorship. Woo, woo, lock her up. Woo, lock her up. Justice for Britney. Abolish conservatorship. Justice for Britney. Investigate TriStar. Investigate TriStar. Investigate TriStar.
Justice for Britney!
Investigate TriStar.
Investigate TriStar!
Investigate Lou
Investigate Lou
Taylor.
Taylor!
Investigate Lou
Investigate Lou
Taylor.
Taylor!
So as you can see, it's almost as if we are back at square one again. But let me tell you how everything is going to play out. I'm not a psychic. I'm not Mrs. Cleo or anything like that. But I can tell you how all of this will play out. Like I said, when I initially started covering this story, we explored all the avenues of, Britney isn't free. Britney, she cannot be still, there's no way Britney's really free. You know what I'm saying? We went through all of those different scenarios. We explored so many avenues. We found various pieces of evidence, all types of stuff throughout that process. But people just kept, no, Britney's free. And they were throwing everything out there that they could to suggest that Britney was a free woman. So I backed off of the, Britney's not free narrative. Even though, I always thought it was a possibility that, hey, maybe Britney's still under some type of control. And I always try to make the point that even though I do think that a lot of what's going on with Britney is her own mental condition, that I still think there's people taking advantage of her. So I never strayed too far away from that. But like I said, I started out with, Britney must not be free. And then after months and months of people trying to convince me that Britney was free, I was like, okay, all right, Britney's free. But if Britney's free, then that just means that she's going through a mental health crisis. Because it's either one of the two. Whatever is going on here is not normal. And there's no one on God's green earth that will convince me otherwise. So now that the narrative has shifted, now that not just me, I want you all to understand, it's not just me. There's people like me out there everywhere. A lot of you all watching this video, we're on the same wavelength when it comes to Britney. So after months and months and months of these Britney Spears fans trying to hammer home the fact that Britney really is free, a lot of us conceded, okay, Britney's free. Well, guess what then? That means Britney's having a mental health crisis and she needs some help. Because what we're seeing play out is not normal. So either it's being manipulated, someone's doing this purposely, or Britney's struggling mentally. So now that we've reached that point, and don't get me wrong, I got tons of pushback for that as well, trust me. But now that we've reached that point, and I would say the general public has now come around to the fact that, hey, there's weird, wild stuff going on Britney's Instagram every day. Now that everyone basically has gotten to the point where they're acknowledging that, oh, Britney must be going through something. Now all of these people who claimed, oh, Britney was free, Britney was free, Britney is free, now they're all going to come out and act as if, oh, wait, Britney's not free anymore. The same people who have been telling you this whole time that you're a conspiracy theorist and that Britney is a free woman, now that the general public has been made aware of her Instagram, now that everyone's out here like, okay, Britney's freaking crazy, now these same people are going to switch up and be like, oh, wait, Britney isn't free. Because one thing they're not going to accept is that Britney might not be okay mentally. They're never going to accept that. So instead of accepting that, they're going to hop right back into like, okay, let's free Britney again. It's Free Britney Part 2. Now, I'm not saying that Britney doesn't need to be freed again. I'm just telling you that these are the exact same people who acted as if we were crazy for pointing it out months ago that there was something wrong. So what's going to happen is there's going to be a new movement coming. You're going to see some old faces from the original Free Britney movement. You're going to see some new faces. All of these people will have been people who ignored Britney over the past few months as she went absolutely nuts on Instagram. And now they're all going to come together in the name of Free Britney again after painting us out as if we were villains, as if we were bad people for being the original ones who pointed out that something was wrong. Make no mistake about it. This little protest that we just watched, all of this stuff, it wouldn't have happened at all if it wasn't for people like me and for like a lot of you all who watch my videos who have been out here being honest with ourselves and with others about Britney Spears' situation. Okay? There's no person out here that's going to honestly in good faith tell you that the things that they see on Britney's Instagram is not concerning. It would concern anyone at all. You know what I'm saying? If you see that and it was someone in your family or something like that, you would be concerned. Okay? So, I mean, it's just wild to me to see how everything is just developing so quickly. And it's funny to me seeing people out here protesting Britney when a lot of them were the ones acting as if we were crazy for suggesting that maybe the conservatorship wasn't really over or that maybe there was something going on, a care plan. We looked into all that stuff. And like I told you all from day one, well, I didn't tell you all this day one, but like we've been going over for a long time now, the whole Free Britney movement, I mean, I think there was genuine people in that movement who cared. Don't get me wrong. But I believe a lot of that movement was artificial. I believe it was artificial. It hyped up Britney's name again. They used it to remove Britney's family out the equation. So the Hollywood, the Hollywood elites, they could feast off of Britney without having to share a plate with Britney's father. That's all that happened here. That's all that happened here, in my opinion, is they moved the father and everyone out the situation so Hollywood can come in and they don't have to share a cut. So I don't think Britney is in really that much of a better situation right now. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of the conservatorship that wasn't as bad as what people made it out to be. We've gone through all over all that type of stuff. But right now, like I said, I just want you all to pay attention to how things are going to start playing out. Because all the people who were telling you that, oh, Britney's free, they're all going to flip the script now and they're all going to pretend, or I don't want to necessarily say pretend, but they're all going to pretend at least as if, oh, we knew Britney wasn't free all along. We got to free Britney again. So it's just funny how these people flip-flop. These people flip-flop all over the place. And at the end of the day, they're going to act like all of us are still the bad guy. And then they're going to act like they're heroes who came out of the woodworks to save Britney again, even though they were the same ones encouraging this behavior for months until finally, it became more popular to call it out. That's all this is. People follow what's popular. So it used to be, oh, you better not say anything because Britney's fan base is going to come after you. And, the feminists are going to come after you and all this other stuff. You can't say anything about how Britney's acting. That was the popular mindset. But now the popular mindset is just to be honest and be like, hey, what the hell is going on here? So now they're going to shift. They flow like a river. They flow with the wind. They don't have a really solid stance on anything. They just do what's popular. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.